Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sidika Purity. This is where we learn Kenya Sign Language, and we shall be doing more videos on biz talks, African culture, fun flow, interviews, motivational speaking, and guess what? Our visitor is back again. So today we are going to continue with the topic that we had done before. Part one of it we did introduction of desire and pleasure. Part 2 of it we did pleasure as a result of a desire. So if you haven't watched any of those videos, I will link down below the links that will get you to that video so that you can watch. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Welcome back again to my channel.
Thank you very much, Purity Sidika.
So today we're just heading into the topic that we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss today causes of desire.
Yes.
What are these causes of desire?
So desire, and if you may allow me to begin, there's something that I'd like to say before we begin. So, you know, we are living in a world where there are a lot of problems, a lot of chaos, and you can't afford to be part of the problem. You have to desire to be part of the solution. So that is the only way we can move forward as a generation, as a people, as a nation.
Very true.
So
now tunataka kuongelea hizi causes of desires. What are these causes of desires?
So when you're talking about causes of desire, it's in a very critical faculty whereby we are looking into what really makes us as a people, as a human being, to desire for this, why our desires are in line in a certain way. And by therein, you will find different types of desires. Because I believe the first things that dictate our desires is our mindset, what we see,
what you think.
Yeah, what you think, and the way we are raised up.
Yeah, very true. So ujazungumza, I believe unajitayarisha kutupatia hizo points za. Now, point number 1, first cause of a desire.
So if we get back into my question, there's something that I said is about positive and negative desires. That's the thing where we begin first from.
What is the difference between a negative and positive desire?
So,
and what are the rewards of the negative or positive?
So when you're talking about positive desires, these are desires that affect us on, or it brings an illumination, or brings a certain kind of transformation which has a good results, or something that can be easily, somebody can really desire, can really want to associate with. But when you're talking about a negative desire, you're talking about something that it deprives you of a certain joy, or it does not fulfill of the longing. So when you're talking about a positive desire, it will first begin with as a result of the way we think, how the way we respond to things. And from this, both positive and negative, they all have rewards.
Rewards, yeah.
And if you may allow me to just take you through of certain rewards that we have from both positive and negative. And we look on their comparison, how they are closely related to it. So I'll read this, if you may allow me. There is a reward which has no natural connection with the things you do to earn it. There is a reward which has no natural connection with the things you do to earn it. And an example of it is money. Money is not a natural reward of love. So if somebody gives you money, it's not something that you can say it's as a result
Of love.
of love. You know, maybe he may do it because out of something.
Yeah.
Because if you understand about the principle of love, you know, there are different types of love. Kuna unconditional love, whereby somebody loves you without condition.
Unconditional.
But there's a love which is tied on things. So
Materialistic
yeah,
things.
materialistic things. So
I love you because you have a good car.
Yeah.
Or a good house, a good job. Yeah.
So if you find that love is channeled through materialistic things, that love is so inferior.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of a desire. But you see, the first thing, it's a, I call it, it's like it's a mercenary desire, whereby it seeks to gain gratification from what he expects. So is whereby it's like a kind of a transaction that is happening between you and that person, and that object. So you give something expecting something back. So it's like, you can say it's like a you know, marriage, the way we understand it, whether you are a Christian, whether you are Muslim, you are a Hindu, or any other religion, it's more of a covenant. It's something like binding you.
Yeah.
But for this case, if you're married, it's maybe like you're in a contract.
Yeah. True.
Maybe it's like you have hired out somebody to come, you spend night, and the other day he goes. So that's a contract. But it has nothing that binds you. Because, but for marriage is something that the woman gives himself and the man gives himself.
Yeah, true.
So he's no longer himself. So there is a reward which has no. So there is a reward which has no natural connection with the things you do. You do to earn it. So money is not a natural reward. Is not a natural reward for who marries a woman. I'll repeat it. Money is not a natural reward for love.
Yeah.
Then that's why we call a man who marries a woman for her money. That's a mercenary desire. It's, in short, just a negative desire. It's something negative because it seeks to get gratification from where he gets, and not we vice versa. Then if you continue, but likewise, marriage, so now this is positive, marriage is a proper reward for a real lover.
Yeah.
Marriage is a proper reward for a real lover. So that's a positive desire. So somebody who is a true lover, the reward of it will be marriage. But if somebody wants to find himself his way, to break his way out, he will use money so as to acquire love, which is a negative desire. So desire begins at the center of our mindset.
Yeah.
So
it's all about our minds.
So it begins there from what is really, really deep within you. When you say that you want this and this, is it for your own self gratification, or it's for the bigger picture, for the everybody? So is more inclusive? Is it exclusive or more inclusive? Yeah.
I believe he has explained the negative part of it and the positive part of it, and he has given each side a reward of it. How now we can be able to understand this. Now let's go to the next question. Why is it our desires are inferior?
Why is it our desires as human beings are so inferior? Whereby, for example, you desire to do something, A, B, C, D. Maybe you want, like say, you want by every morning by 5 a.m. you should be up.
Or you want maybe every morning you go jogging.
Yeah. Do some exercise.
Yeah.
But when that day reaches, you postpone it to the next day.
Yeah. And that is a dreamer kill.
Yeah.
You kill
Procrastination. Yeah. It's a dreamer killer. It kills you. So you say, I'll do it next week. When the dream is, I'll do it. So you end up doing nothing. So, and it all begins from desire. If you may allow me to just give a recap of what we shared last time.
Yeah.
In the book of Romans chapter 7, I believe from verse 15, it says, it explains a very fundamental principle which I will never like you who are watching us, never forget it. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, I do not practice. But what I hate,
is what
that I do. So, naturally, our desires as human beings is so weak because of our nature.
Yeah.
So, even when we desire, you desire just building from the positive and negative. When you desire for a positive desire, you want to do something right, you find it yourself like you are being pulled to the other side. And for that case, it means you need help.
Yeah.
As a person, as a human being, something that can strengthen your desire. And one thing that I would like to explain, when God was creating man and woman, He gave them power to control their desires,
to suppress,
to control their desires.
Yeah.
But that is not the way we see ourselves, because sometimes we always feel like we are being overpowered with negative desires as compared to the positive desire. Yes, we ourselves will to do what is right, but when it comes to, maybe if you have read for an exam, you have read, you know what to answer, but when it comes to the papers, there are two different things from what you read.
Yeah.
So somebody can't equate what you know and by what is it written. So, but for you, inside you, you know, but the papers, they have the final say, but they have another different way, which is contrary to you. So, and but for the first thing, you have to understand, so when you see like you are being empowered by the negative desire, it means that there is a force.
There's a force that is pushing you.
It's a force that is pushing you to the negative side.
Yeah.
Meaning that you as an individual, there is no problem with you. It's because there is something that has started within you.
Yeah.
And it makes you to move on a different direction. Maybe if it's immorality, you find yourself that you just want to do it.
Yeah.
And it rises. Maybe, for an example, if you take people who want to get married, before they get married, they always have that desire to get married.
Yeah.
But when they
are in marriage,
after they are in marriage, that desire just simply dwindles. That means that you desiring for something, you should check your desires very well. Let it not because of what you feel.
Yeah.
But you should go by, it should be something that should be, yani on samanga, when you are too happy and when you are too sad, never rush to make a decision. Because that decision will never
very wrong.
Will never be right. So you should wait until you have sobered up.
Yeah.
When you are at your neutral, when you are able to reason between your intellect and the revelation, the feeling that you are getting at that instance, which can be kind of a revelation. So you're able to reason between your intellect and what you're feeling.
Yeah.
So when you're able to put a balance, you are able to come with a right decision. So since we have these desires, I would like briefly to just say, how can we how can we handle our weakest desires? The only thing that can strengthen our desires is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because I believe is the source of our desires. He understands us better than we understand ourselves. And if just you briefly open for me in the book of Philippians, the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 13. Philippians 2:13. Nasema, I'll read it in the New Living Translation. Nasema, for God is working in you, giving you the desire to obey Him and the power to do what pleases Him. So, the only way to counter our weakest desire is by leaning towards Jesus.
Yeah.
Because if you try to follow the way of disciplining yourself, that I want to do this and this, you'll do it for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But because the real problem is within you, you may not solve the so you'll find yourself inclining back to your negative desires because it is spiritually empowered.
Yeah.
So for you to fight something that is spiritually empowered, you have to empower yourself.
Yeah.
And how do we empower ourselves? Is through Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But you find most of the people, they incline so much on rule keeping, law discipline themselves. And for some people have worked. Those who their desires maybe they are at a very low stage. They are not at the peak. But for those who are at the peak, if they try that, it does not make sense to them. Yeah. If I may justify what I'm saying, the book of Romans chapter 8, Romans 8 from verse 5, those who think they can do it on their own end, those who think they can do it on their own end up obsessed with measuring their own moral muscles, but never get around to exercising it in real life. These people who think they can do, they can solve, they can fix their desires by their own moral. The scripture says that they end up obsessed with measuring their own moral muscle. It's like, today I've not done this, so I'm a good person. So every time there is like, they're in a balance, they are weighing themselves. Have I lived right? Can I do it better? So never get around moral muscle, but never get around to exercise. So after exercising their moral muscle, you see, but never get around exercising it in real life.
Yeah.
Yes, they are weighing themselves. Today's their funny. But when it comes to real life, they never exercise it. So, but then he continues, gives the answer. Those who trust God's action in them find that the God Spirit is in them, living and breathing God.
Yeah.
So that's the secret. For us to tame for us to walk in obedience, we have to have a longing. And that longing should be full in Jesus Christ. Yeah. And when you have trust in Jesus Christ, obedience comes.
Yeah.
That is the only way we can tame our desires. But first we have to change. We should move from me, what can I do? Because these desires are spiritually empowered with an evil desire. So you have to empower it from a positive point of
Yeah. So guys, let's wrap the video part 1. So we are coming back to part 2. Okay? Sit back, relax, and enjoy.